Hello, everybody. Titus here with another episode of Titus Talk. This time, episode 20 with special guest GlamourFaerie. How are you doing, Glam?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Uh, so, for those joining us for the first time, this is a podcast series where I interview other content creators, whether they be from Twitch, YouTube, or wherever. Uh, like I said, Glamour is my guest today. Uh, I'm trying to remember. I start with usually how I was introduced to your channel. It's probably a Sugar Mama rage, which is usually where I come from, is saying
Really
I met you through,
was.
through Sugar Mama, and at the time you were part of Club Tortimer,
Yeah,
which I actually have a question about that later, but we'll get to that.
of course.
So for anybody who doesn't know who you are, tell us a little about yourself.
Okay. This is kind of the same thing that I say when a raid happens, but so obviously I'm Glamour Fairy. I usually go by Glam or Glamour, but I do have a lot of people that do call me Fae or Fairy, because they actually have somebody in their chat or in their viewer list that already goes by Glam. Which is actually kind of funny because I've never really saw anybody else with the word glamour in front of their uh, name.
Yeah, I don't know
But I
anybody.
right. It's so weird. I've actually been in a couple of them, and there's like a couple of people that have that name, and I didn't realize that, and so they would call me Fairy right off the bat. I'm like, oh wow, that's something that I'm not used to. But I play a lot of Animal Crossing currently. But I also have been playing Dead by Daylight, and I've been playing some Story of Seasons once in a while. I used to play lots of Stardew Valley, um, but I've been kind of widening some of the games that I've been playing.
And I did forget to mention. I also like to add the things I like about the channel. Your general positivity. I also your directness though. Like you're positive, but if somebody is out there attacking someone, you
Right there.
you have no qualms with putting them in their place.
Right.
And then the community, obviously, which shared amongst a lot of the people who've been on the podcast, is a wonderful one. And that's in part of the caster.
Mhm.
Uh, okay, so before we move on, anybody who is here who hasn't heard already, there is a giveaway for a raffle to the stream, exclamation point raffle if you're here live on Twitch, and you'll be entered to win that. Without further ado, we'll go ahead and move on to the questions. We always start off with these. How long have you been gaming? Is it a lifelong thing, or is it more of a, when you grew up later?
So it's kind of like a lifelong thing because um my dad has always been a very big Nintendo fan, has always been a Nintendo fan since like before I was born. And he said that he always remembered going to like the arcade and like going to put the quarters in and playing Super Mario on the screen and everything and um going out and buying his very first very first Nintendo Entertainment System, all that fun stuff. And then uh, as we grew up as kids, my sister and I, we started playing along with him or watching him or my mom even playing like Donkey Kong 64 and all the Nintendo 64 games is what I remember the most. And then we, kept going with all the Nintendo games. We went to, GameCube, bought a few games for that. And then my dad bought every single Nintendo published game, except for one of them. He will always tell me that there's always one that he's missing. And so I was able to play like a lot of Wii games. And so
We're gonna have to pause for a second.
like that's where I like started kind of more expanding a lot of
I did
things.
not realize her door was unlocked. So this
Oh no.
this is my 3-year-old.
Oh my God. Hello.
Say hi, Lily.
Hi,
Say
Lily.
no, just say hi.
Hi.
Say hi, Glamour Fairy.
Hi, GlamourFaerie.
Hi.
All right.
Oh, she's such a cutie.
Yeah, I'm gonna get you back in bed. So we'll be right back to continue where we left off. Sorry, everybody. I didn't. Her door's usually locked, so she can't get out like this. I'll be right back. I got distracted.
Uh, oh no, you're good. Let's see. Da-da. So I remember playing a lot of like Nintendo 64 and just like watching it most of the time. And then we went to GameCube, that was very, small, short-lived sort of GameCube thing. I think it was out for like what was it out for only like a year or two or something like that. Um, and then my dad has every Nintendo published Wii game except for one of them, and he will always remind me that there's one that he's missing.
Which one is he
And
missing?
I have no idea, but he says that it's really expensive and he can't get it now. And I've also been told that some of the games that he has now are also very expensive and that are very hard to find. And
Hmm.
he doesn't know that, or he probably does know that now, but I wasn't aware of that until somebody told me. They're like, "Well, if he has this game, then it's this expensive." And I like went through their games and I was like, "Oh, he does have that game." But yeah, like it's just kind of like a family thing because like my sister plays video games as well, and then my mom, she's a very big Zelda fan. My dad's just very big into Mario. It's just something that like is a family thing. We've always been into video games. I've always been on like the Animal Crossing spectrum of it. Sometimes Zelda because I'm like, ooh, I can get into this, and then my brain just doesn't like to do puzzles like my mom does. So
All right. What are some of your favorite games and genres of games?
So I really like comfy cozy games, which is what my whole thing is usually based off of because like when I first started streaming, I started streaming like Stardew Valley and I wanted to start streaming because I really wanted to stream Animal Crossing uh and I couldn't play New Leaf because I didn't have a capture card. Um the 3DS capture card.
Right.
Um So like I usually like playing games like that, like Animal Crossing. I remember playing Wild World, City Folk, and then into New Leaf, um, and now New Horizons. I did not play the original Animal Crossing. I just watched friends play it because they had it and I did not. Um,
Oh.
and Obviously right now I've been kind of exploring some games. I do like some indie games that I've been playing. Like I've been playing some like Night in the Woods and stuff like that. Like story-based games.
Right.
Um, I usually I like games that don't end because then I can just keep going back to it and keep going for a while. And if I wanted to, I could restart. Like start with Stardew, you can like start a whole new farm and still have the progress of the last one. Um, I've already restarted my entire Animal Crossing island before, so it's just one of those things that I like. I like things that I can restart if I can
Right.
because I like the beginning of games for some strange reason. I like doing the beginning part and like knowing what I'm doing and stuff like that.
All right. What are some of your fondest gaming memories?
I'm probably playing Mario Kart against my dad. Whether it be Mario Kart 64 or if it's uh Double Dash or if it's uh Mario Kart Wii, like all of those, like just all of the Mario Kart games I remember playing with my dad, and it was always like a thing where we were trying to like beat him, and I was like out of high school and I like came home one day and I was like, I want to play Mario Kart against you. And my dad's like, okay, why? I was like, just let me play Mario Kart against you. I want to see if I can win. And so we played against him and I won. I got first place and he got second. And I was just like so ecstatic. And I'm like, at this point, I'm like 20 years old and I'm like excited that I beat my dad against him, like playing Mario Kart. But it was kind of like a, I think I said to him, what is that saying? The student,
Has become the teacher or the
yeah, the student becomes the teacher or becomes the master or
right?
whatever. That's what it was to me. I said that to him and he's just like, "You're insane, but okay. I'll go with it."
Oh, that's great. So, with such an affinity for Mario Kart, have you tried the mobile one?
Oh yeah, I've tried it a couple of times. It kind of pisses me off, honestly.
Yeah,
I'm
I
like, I should just have to turn the thing and then it'll go, but no, I have to like swipe and
yeah I
it's
deleted
not
it
what I
off my
like doing
phone.
it. Yeah. I think I still have it. I have a lot of like I have the Dr. Mario on there as well, and I have Pocket Camp. I have a lot of those games. I just never deleted them, which is actually kind of weird.
No, it's not. I usually don't, but recently my phone's filled up, so I had to just
Uh,
get rid of it. All right. What are some upcoming games you're looking forward to?
Oh, I don't even know. I've just been so focused on Animal Crossing since it came out, and it's so funny because like there's people that are experiencing burnout with it, and I just haven't like fully experienced it. But oh yeah, that's a good one, Banana. Breath of the Wild too. But like we've also haven't heard anything since last year about that, so I just don't even think about it in the back of my head. My
Right.
mom's very excited about it though. Once I told her, "Oh yeah, they announced it last year," she goes, "They did what?" Hence the tears. Yeah,
Does Pikmin 3 announcement do anything for you that was came out this week?
I heard about that one, and my I'm really weird with Pikmin because I remember playing the first one, or maybe it was either the first or the second one, and um I was I played it and I left one of the little Pikmin on the island or on the wherever it is, I can't remember, on the planet, and we left, and it was just the one that was left there, and I cried.
Oh,
I was like, I want to like get all of them, and then if I don't, they get eaten by the big bugs that are there, and I get sad.
but yeah, unfortunately, I don't think there's a lot outside of like new console stuff that has been
Right.
announced coming. So
And I'm mostly based on Switch. I don't play a whole lot of PS4, and I don't have an Xbox. Except for, I think the only thing that I remember seeing was the Fable game.
yes, that
I that's something that my mom really liked playing, and I remember just sitting there playing Animal Crossing, and she would just be playing Fable all day long, and that was like just a thing that we did. Um,
that's pretty cool though. My mom only ever played Galaga.
yeah. It's just so funny because like I've had a weird I never really thought about it that I've had a weird it's not really weird. It's just it's different from everybody else's family experience that like I had both mom and dad playing games for like hours on end, and like my dad would not rest until he finished Super Mario Galaxy. My mom has played over I think it was over 1,700 hours in Breath of the Wild, and she still
Wow,
hasn't even finished the game. She just likes to explore a lot, and then she also leaves it on for a little bit and then leaves and does some stuff and then comes back. So,
that's pretty cool though. All right, so what are some games you're currently playing both on and off stream? I saw you play Dream Daddy last night.
yeah, we were playing Dream Daddy last night and that was fun. We are still not even close to finishing it. I didn't realize that it was a uh, really long game, but I've been wanting to play some more like story-based games, something that has an ending to it on stream, rather than playing the ever-ending, Animal Crossing or Stardew Valley, something that, practically never ends.
Right.
Um, and so I've been wanting to play some other stuff like that. I have been getting into Dead by Daylight a lot. Uh, I've been learning some things with it, and it's really nice to um, sorry, my nose started itching. Um, it's been really nice to learn some of the things with Dead by Daylight and learning what other people see with it. Um, and like there's a bunch of new things that are happening right now. Like there's like the new matchmaking system, and it's been a whirlwind trying to see what they're doing with that as well. Um,
Yeah, I was just informed about that last night, and I
yeah,
was like, oh,
it's a
okay.
little intense.
Do you
I
play
was having
on
issues.
PC or PS4?
I play on PC.
Okay.
I play a lot of I used to be only console. I used to only play like Nintendo games exclusively, only console games. And then within the last year or so, I've been playing more Steam games like Stardew Valley. It was more of just a Steam game. Like they have it on Switch, but I never really play it on Switch. Like I have it on Switch and on Steam, and I only play it on Steam because I just prefer the mouse and keyboard. I just kind of like switched over. It was really weird.
I would say it was probably unexpected for you.
Yeah, it was. It was very unexpected because, my entire life I was always console, and then the last couple of years I just switched to PC.
All right, so this is usually the spot where we ask about your Twitch name, but that's actually part of the topic that you've chosen, so we'll go
Right.
ahead and skip that for now. So, what drew you to streaming?
Okay, sorry, my nose.
No, you're fine.
Um, okay, so what drew me to streaming was actually like YouTube Let's Plays. It was actually Crystal, Simply Press Start. I would watch her YouTube Let's Plays of Animal Crossing New Leaf, and I was in a really weird place at the time. Like not happy. I wouldn't say like completely depressive, but my husband would say otherwise. But I wasn't in a good place, and so I would go to YouTube and I was like, I want to watch Let's Plays, and then I was like, I want to watch something that would, potentially not end. So I watched her Animal Crossing New Leaf Let's Play of Rosewood or Rose Wolf. It was the last one that she did before she started doing it exclusively on Twitch. And so I was watching that, and then I finished where she was at. She was like, "Okay, this is the end. This is the last one." And then I was like, "Oh no, what am I gonna do?" And she's like, "But don't worry." Or no, like a week later after that, I was just like so upset that that had happened. I was like, "It's okay. I'll find another one. I'll find another one to watch." I was like, "Maybe I'll just rewatch this one." She sent out her like monthly video that she does and said, "Don't worry, I'm going to be having a Twitch exclusive um, New Leaf town. Like I'm redoing an entire town and I'm going to do it on Twitch exclusively." And I was like, "Awesome, that's perfect." What I heard from that was that she was not going to be putting it on YouTube. It was going to be only on Twitch. So I went out and I made a Twitch account on the same day that she started her new town of Memory, and I watched her and I was like, this is fun. And then like a couple of months later, I started like exploring other people other than Crystal. That's how I found Liz. That's how I found Sugar Mama. And I went ahead because at the bottom of Simply Press Start's panels was the Club Tortimer. So I clicked on all of the people that was there because this was before it was an actual stream team.
Hmm.
So I clicked on all those people and I followed all of them, and I that's actually how I became more friends with like Liz because that was in like January, closer to February time. In February, I met Liz online, watching her stream and everything like that. And we went from there to I was thinking I could stream. I could do this and I could make some money off of it. So originally I was looking at this as I can make money. If and that was my first base idea of it. And then I was like, but what would I stream? I was like, I just want to stream Animal Crossing. But that's supposed to be coming out this year. So if I start now and I could like build something, then I could go ahead and stream it. And this was before we even found out that Animal Crossing wasn't coming out in March of the following year.
Right.
We had no idea. So with talk of my husband, we went ahead and configured his gaming laptop, figured out stuff with that, and we went from there and I started streaming. I just pushed the let's play or the let's go live button, and I streamed Star or not Stardew. I streamed Sims my first day, and then the second day I played Stardew. And that was that.
That's awesome. Quick shout out to Simply Press Start and Lizabelle. Lizabelle was supposed to join us today, but she had adulting things to do. And Simply Press Start, she's actually been on the podcast before, so you can check out the YouTube channel if you've missed it. But yeah, that's awesome. And here you are today, 1K plus followers.
Right? That's insane. Because like I don't even do it for the money, or well, I mean I kind of do it because I want to become a streamer full time. I don't want to do what I'm doing now at work. I want to be streamer full time. But it's really cool because like I switched from doing it exclusively for the money. For now, I do it for like the community and like I love the friendships that I've created and stuff like that. It's really cool.
Yeah, which is awesome. I don't think you can come in thinking about the money unless you're somebody that's already big.
Right, right. It's very difficult to do it right off the bat like that.
All right. So, what are some of the best things? What are the things you like best about streaming?
Oh, the community, like I said, just a few moments ago, the community is like literally my favorite thing, is because like I have, um, I have, sorry, tripping over my words here. I like starting stream and seeing those people that are coming in before I even actually come onto the screen, or even those that come in the middle of the stream and they come in and they're like, "Hey, how's it going, Glam?" And it's like it's nice to see that they're like coming in to, they're coming in just to see me in the gameplay, and it's really cool. Um, to have people excited about that. And I get excited too because like I'm like, "Oh my God, hey, it's you. How's it going? Like, how is this and how is that?" Like it's really cool to have that community to be with.
Right. So, what are the some of the things you dislike about streaming?
We've talked about this before with some of my friendos is the when people come in and they're one, they could be underage because my stream is not family friendly. I have
What?
the mouth of a sailor and I can't do it with being like I can't do family friendly. I like tried it for like half a second. It was not me. And they'll come in and they'll say something and we can tell that they're underage, but they don't say that they're underage quite yet. And so we're kind of like
Sorry, I might have to
looking at
pause
them.
again.
Oh, uh the which is actually kind of funny because we were talking about how like underage people come into my
Yes.
stream and you can kind of tell that they're kind of underage, um and we can like try to figure out like we can see it but we're not like we don't know if they actually are because like the rule is like don't talk about your age. The minute you talk about your age you're out,
Right.
and we immediately ban them unless they can, you know, you say something that says that that they're of age.
Right.
Um, even in my Discord, I monitor it. In my Discord, I have a specific NSFW channel in there, and it has the mature audience thing on it. And then I'm always monitoring the people that I do have come in my stream. I'm monitoring them because sometimes it gets really bad in there, so we have to like watch to make sure that there's not children in there because I don't want to be the one that shows a child something that they shouldn't be seeing at this point.
Right.
um, the other thing would be like trolls coming in, and we've been getting a lot of the follow bots a lot lately. Um, I've been noticing that a lot. It's been really weird because they changed how they do things. They don't do it with an actual link anymore because link protection. And so now we have to actually manually do that, and it's something that we have to keep on. That's the one thing that I don't like. Is like, really, do people actually fall for this? And if they do fall for it, I don't want them to fall for it. So,
Right.
um, and then there's the other trolls that come in there. We've actually had two sets of Discord trolls that have come in through my stream and then go straight to my Discord and then they start like spamming it and messaging people. So now I have a 10-minute wait time to type anything into the Discord because of that.
Yeah. I once had somebody come in and they started spamming like pictures of like uh, dismembered body parts and things of that
Yeah.
nature. So I was like, oh,
Yeah.
you're awesome.
It was absolutely the first time it happened to me. I literally like I think I ended up having to end stream because I was just like so distraught that it was happening in my stream and or in my Discord and on stream because it was like a hate raid almost. It was really weird and um there was a hate raid that was going through for specifically Animal Crossing streamers and I had no idea that it was going for other people until I was in a group chat that was notified, hey, by the way, I was just hate rated. And I was like, oh, those same people hate rated me like 3 days ago. I didn't realize that they would be going for specific Animal Crossing people. Otherwise, I would have, warned everybody else about it.
Right. Luckily, at least in my experience, they're more fewer and far between. It's not a regular thing.
Yeah.
All right. So when did you start streaming then?
My first streaming date was May 16th, 2019. So I've been streaming for a little over a year, like a year and 3 months,
Just
almost.
about, yeah.
Yeah,
In about a
and
week, a little over a week.
yeah,
So that's really good considering where you're at and everything.
it's insane. Like I didn't think that that would be ever a thing in the last. I was actually talking to some of my mods about this. Is that in the last month I've been gaining more followers, and I'm like, where did these people come from? Like, how is that even a thing? How did we get to this point too? Because I literally just hit 1,100 last night, and it's insane that there's that many people out there that want to follow me.
Right.
You know?
Uh, what is who are some of your favorite streamers to watch?
Ooh, I have a list. Obviously Lizabelle is like my top tier one because it's Lizabelle. She's like we call each other our Twitch waifus and we're like best friends. I went out and saw her and everything. Um, I do like watching like Mother Moon, Danny, definitely Hyrule Gaming Group. I do like to watch. I've been watching Amethyst Alien or Kim. Some of you guys may know her. She's lots of fun. Um, Shiny, Shiny Wave. Sorry, I always remember that there's another Shiny in here. Shiny
Sorry,
Wave.
Deminix.
Shiny Wave also started streaming around pretty much the same week that I did. And we found each other on uh, while we were both streaming, like at the first time. So that was fun to watch her grow as well because we both have been growing at the same time. Um, I of course, obviously you. I've got like
Oh,
4K points in your channel as well, and I've been looking at them while we've been talking, trying to figure out if I want to use them next stream. Uh, and then I do watch I do still watch Crystal, but I usually watch Crystal on like YouTube because she streams super early in the morning for me, and I'm usually at work then, so I
mm.
can't really watch her anymore. So I just watch her on YouTube if I'm on.
All right. So you said that you want to make this like a full time thing. So what are your overall? Where do you see your channel going? What do you have any kind of idea of how you want to move forward? Are you going to stick to just Twitch? Are you going to move it to other things as well? What are your plans, if you got any?
I've been trying it's very difficult, but I've been trying YouTube a little bit. I've been like at least doing once a month like Twitch clips and highlights. It's something that I was like, actually going to work on today after this probably. But I want to like expand from that. Um, do some more YouTube exclusive stuff. Um,
Is
but
it the
I just
same
abs
name as your Twitch name?
Yeah, it'll or no, it's not. I don't even have because you have to have 100 subscribers to do that first. I don't even know what my URL is for that one anymore. Um, but I've got um YouTube. I don't like doing it because of the editing. I absolutely hate editing. It's a pain in my butt, and I just like I can't. Like I'll do it, and then I just won't finish the rest of it, and I just never get to the rest of it. Um, and then I have an Etsy that I just started like 2 days ago.
Oh, cool.
I'm making like necklaces out of like a bunch of charms that I have. Um, I've been trying to sell some of those just to get a couple of extra bucks so that way I can help like fix like my credit card debt and then go from there because you can't get better credit if you have a debt on your credit.
Yeah, it's a rough system.
It is. It is a very rough system. Adulting sucks. Don't do it, kids.
All right. What are some of your interests and hobbies outside of gaming?
Outside of gaming, oh my goodness, I don't do a whole lot outside of gaming really. I literally go to work, I come home, I watch some streamers, and then I get ready for my stream, and then I stream, and then I go to bed and do it all over the next day. But other than that, I do like doing some crafts. Like I said, with Etsy, I've been making these necklaces. I also have I make friendship bracelets. I also um I like stationery. I have all this kawaii stationery. I've got like stuff all over here. I used to read a lot. That's why there's a bookshelf here. But I don't read as much as I used to. I used to write a lot. Again, I don't do that as much as I used to either. It's a lot of stuff that I've been like I used to do a lot of, but then I just never kept going with.
Uh, yeah. So I assume you just saw Shiny's comment.
Yeah.
So the one thing to take out of this whole podcast: don't grow up. Noted. I
Truth.
mean, there's a part of you that shouldn't ever grow up, honestly. But uh, all right. So going into more specific questions. So, and if there's anything that you don't want to answer or you'd rather not say, just let me know. Also, if you're here from YouTube, I will put the links to her Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Etsy in the notes in the YouTube video notes, so you can find it there if you're interested. So first, you left Club Tortimer.
Okay.
You were part of the Club Tortimer, and then you left. So what? How did that decision come about?
It was kind of like a long process. It wasn't like automatic. It sounds like I mean, it was like a long thing to think about because Club Tournament is the reason why I pretty much started streaming. And it was very hard for me um to leave Club Tournament, obviously. I'm still friends with pretty much everybody. There's a few people that I follow them on Twitch. I just never really went into their streams to begin with. Um, but I still talk to people that are in Club Tortimer, and I think it was just kind of I felt like I wasn't going anywhere with them, and I felt like they could do a whole lot more without me. Um, so I just kind of decided that maybe I should just, I'll just step back and let them do their thing, and I'll do mine. Um, I did do a relay race before I left. It sounds kind of weird for me to do that, and then like I end up just leaving right at the end of that. Um, but I like set the whole thing up, and I at the end of me finishing setting up the whole thing, I like looked at it and was like, I think they could do this without me. And I feel like they can do it without me. So, um, I decided that I was going to uh, leave from there, and I finished off my stream with saying that I love everybody from Club Tournament, and that I hope that what was I saying here? That I hope that they can accept me for leaving because like it's not easy leaving somebody that or leaving a group of people that you've seen grow and have been friends with,
Right.
but like I said, I'm still friends with pretty much everybody in that group. I just am not in the group anymore.
Are you, I meant to look beforehand. Are you in another group now, or are you just by yourself at this point?
No, I'm just by myself. I'm not a part of a team. I have been looking into Planet Army, um,
Which
but I
Lizabelle is a part
haven't.
of, correct?
Yeah, Liz is a part of Planet Army. She tried convincing me to be a part of Planet Army the last time they had Actually, the last two times, because they've opened applications for Plant Army 3 times now since I've started streaming. The first time they did it, I was literally a month into streaming, so I was not allowed to because you have to have 3 months of streaming under your belt before you do that. And then the second time, I just said, nope, I'm not doing it. I'm not being a part of another team. I'm just with Club Tort, and that's it. And then this time they did it like last week, and I've been waiting, thinking about what I want to say in my video because now they have a video that you have to do
Oh, wow.
in order to be a part of the team. So, they mean
I was
business
about to say they're
now.
going highbrow.
They are.
So you are going to be applying then?
I will be applying. I just I have to think very hard on how I want to do it.
Well, not that you need it, but best of luck.
Thank you.
All right. So, for those who don't, you have a family, a husband and a stepson, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, obviously I have 2 kids myself. So, how do you find the balance between work, family, and streaming?
It's very, very difficult. I mean, I'm sure you understand that. I've got 'cause like I work 8 hours in the day. And then I get off at 4:30ish, and I'll come home. I'll hang out with William, my stepson. My husband is usually getting ready for work because he works the night shift. Um, I'll hang out with William while I make dinner. Um, we'll eat dinner, and then I ask him to make sure that it's okay. Hey, I'm going to be streaming. You good? And then he'll let me know if he's good or not. He'll usually play games with us sometimes. If we're playing Animal Crossing, sometimes he'll come over to my town, or I think I've been over to his town once maybe. Um, or if we're playing Splatoon, he absolutely loves Splatoon, so we'll play that with him as well. Um, and then I'll stream for a few hours. I'll take breaks in between to grab snacks and whatnot. Yeah, he does. He kicks booty at Splatoon. He's so good at it. Um, and like he'll help me out too. He'll like grab a few things for me if I need it. Like he'll get my water for me. He's such a sweetheart. I love it. But usually during stream, my husband is at work and William is on the couch with over here. That's because I stream in the living room. So he's just like right over here on the other side of the screen. So yeah, it's just something that we like kind of just learn with. But he will be leaving in the next week, I believe. He's only here for the summer. But this next year, he's actually going to be homeschooling. So there's a possibility we'll be seeing a little bit more of him.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait for the girls to get old enough for me to be able to play games with them.
Yes, it's so exciting. It's one of my favorite things is that, when he came over and I was like, "Hey, did you want to play my favorite game ever?" And he's like, "Yeah, I want to try it out." So we let him try out Animal Crossing, and now he plays Animal Crossing.
That's awesome. Let's see. So, this is just a personal curiosity for me. Do you have a name for your community at all, like Glam Fam or?
Well, that's a good one.
So, I just didn't know if.
Yeah. I have the Flying Fae is what I call everybody.
Okay.
So, it's just like the group. Fae is a general term for Fae folk, which GlamourFaerie
Right.
comes from. So it's just like a general area of the Fae. It's community.
All right. Again, that was just I don't think I'd ever heard it, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I want to say Glam Fam, but I hadn't heard it before, so. All right. So, you mentioned earlier that you got to meet Liz in person. How was that?
We did. It was interesting because I decided that I was gonna go over there way before all of the COVID stuff happened. So like back in January, I was having a moment to myself and I was like, I want to go do something. Why am I not doing anything? And I'm like, you know what? I really want to meet Liz. She's like my best friend on Twitch and I want to meet her. I think that would be a really cool experience. And I immediately looked at my husband and I was like, hey, I want to do this. And then he looked at me and was like, that's actually kind of funny because I was thinking about messaging Liz and figuring out a way to actually get you to get you over there. So we talked it out, figured out some things. My mother-in-law is actually a travel agent, so
Oh,
she was able to help me figure out the cheapest way to get over there. Um, it in the end it ended up being like I think it was like $300 or something like that. It was to me it was expensive because I don't travel, so
right.
and then COVID hit and we were like oh no, what do I do? And I told her I was like, I don't think I can go. And I was getting ready to cancel my trip, and I almost did, but I didn't because it said that if you cancel with us, we will only be able to give you a credit. Now, I was looking at that credit and I was like, I could use this credit later on in the year, but we, one, don't know how long this is going to go. And two, I won't be able to go in the time that I would like to, which is around like October time, because my manager at my work is currently pregnant and she's supposed to be giving birth in the next month or so. So
Okay
I
then.
can't I can't leave work because I'm the assistant manager. So they're like looking at me like, don't leave. So it was insane, and I just decided I was like, you know what? Let's go. And I messaged Chara said, okay, here are my ground rules about me coming over anyway. We are not to leave the hotel unless we are going to go get food at like a fast food place. We're not allowed to leave the hotel unless we are going to like your place to go pick up a few things or whatever, but we're staying at the hotel. And so we did that. We pretty much stayed at the hotel the entire time. I think I went into the grocery store once, and that was also my first time being in a grocery store during the COVID. Um, in in Texas at the time, it was completely open, and we could have gone anywhere, but we decided not to go anywhere. And I just, like I said, the hotel was our best friend, and it was a very dirty hotel too.
Well,
It was
the streams
bad.
were a hoot. So,
It was fun. It was lots of fun.
all right. I think that's all the questions I had. So, thank you for that. If so, but the last part of this is so where can everybody find you in all your various places?
Okay. They can find me. I have very many places. Obviously at twitch.tv/GlamourFaerie. Um, and then let's see, what else do I have? I have Instagram and Twitter, all the same with GlamourFaerie. I'm more active on Twitter. I also have my Etsy shop, um, that I just opened a couple of days ago. It's very minimal. It's not a whole lot of stuff going on in there, but I'm going to expand from that hopefully soon. I do have a YouTube, but again, I don't use it as much as I probably should. I have probably one video a month, trying to make it a little bit more than that.
Hey,
Um,
everything starts somewhere.
yeah, exactly. Just trying to go somewhere with it. Um, where else is there oh, the Impatient Knots Instagram. Yeah, I have
What?
a business Instagram. I make friendship bracelets. I don't do a
Right.
whole lot of them anymore. But I've been trying to keep going on them. I have a few commissions that I've been trying to work on throughout the year, but everything's been happening. It's a lot to work with. But I have Impatient Knots, is the name of my Instagram and my friendship bracelet making business. Uh,
Is that what it's
so
called on
that's
Etsy as well?
yes, actually on Etsy it's Impatient Knots. They're just completely together. It's Impatient Knots, one word. On Instagram, it's impatient_knots.
Gotcha. Well, if you guys don't follow her in any of those places, go do so. Uh, all right, so we will switch it up to the topic of Glam's choice, which is I've called it channel design. But why don't you get into what you wanted to talk about? You wanted to talk about your original character and some of the things on your
Yeah.
stream.
So, okay, it's kind of like a broad thing with channel design. So, like currently, like my name, that's what I want to start with, GlamourFaerie. Um, I originally started with GlamourFaerie as it came from. I used to sell lip scents or Senegence. It's a one of those MLM things that you see on Facebook, the ones that your old high school buddies are messaging you about and being like, "Hey, try my new product," and you're just, annoyed by that. I used to do that. And my aunt, who was my sponsor for that, came up with, I think she said she came up with GlamourFaerie, and I was like, ooh, I like that. And then I took out the us part and just had GlamourFaerie, and I just like I liked it, and I just kind of rolled with it from there. Um, so the glamour part, I don't wear a whole lot of makeup on stream anymore. I used to, but like I try, like if it requires effort too much, I try not to do it a whole lot of it. I it's just it's too much work for me. But the fairy part, um, now the fairy part is something that I've been with for a long time. So as I've grown up, I've learned about this is gonna get a little strange here. Um, I had my mom. My mom is pagan, and that comes. The fairy is a term for fae folk, and we had talked about that with the community about that. Um, so fairies, you know them from like fairy tales and stuff like that. Well, for us, like that's kind not real, but real. That again, weird conversation with that. Um, but that's kind of where that came from because like always seen as like a guardian fairy in my life. I've seen it just kind of how it is. And that guardian, I didn't realize this until a few months ago. This is actually kind of really strange for me because like I'm like asking all of these artists to draw this fairy for me, my character, and I've always told them blonde hair, green eyes, and then the wings have to be blue. But my sub badges for my stream are purple, and because purple is my favorite color, so why would I want the wings to be blue? I always had a I always looked at it like everyone sees a guardian angel. I've always had a guardian fairy. And so it was the kind of the same thing when I was like 6 or 7 years old. I had kind of like an imaginary friend, you would say. And she was always there with me. Her name was Fairy, that because I was not very creative as a child, and I was just like, "Oh, she's a fairy. Her name is Fairy. That is it." And and so I always imagined her with blonde hair, green eyes, and blue wings, and that was just something that I had always seen. She's always been with me, but not with me because it's actually me. That sounds a little strange, but it was kind of like an older version of me trying to guide me into the direction of where I should be today. And it's just not something that I've ever talked about to people, and I just thought that this was a great idea to tell everybody about where Glamour Fairy came from, where the mascot, where all my artwork that I've been getting from. I have multiple people that have um, drawn her for me. I've had Shay Neon. She's drawn a lot of her for me. Roszipou's drawn her for me. Um, and I have a few other people as well, and they are just it's really cool to think about it because like again I've never actually looked at things like this until I'm like wait a minute, this is actually a thing, and I was like this is a good idea to talk about it on this podcast about where where that person had come from, where that character has come from.
Well, that's an awesome
um
story. Everybody's just like, "Oh my god, I didn't know that. That's amazing."
yeah, and they're my mods too.
Well, I'm glad. I'm happy you could share that with me,
Yeah.
or with us actually. So that's where everything is kind of like your design for your channel is based around. Is all is just the is
Yeah, so like all my emotes are of that fairy. Finch Draws did my artwork for my emotes, and I asked her to make that about a year ago ish, and that's what that came out from. My overlays and stuff like that were actually a gift from Reset AC and Lizabelle. Both of them got together and bought the panels and overlays on Etsy.
Aw.
And it literally looked like something that was for me, I guess, because it was stars and moons. And it was blue and purple, which are like my top colors. Um, and then, it's just I liked that from there. And I've changed my panels quite a few times, but like this one I really like. Um, and then like my alerts, I know I've talked I wanted to talk a little bit about that because my alerts don't have like nothing to do with like my overlays. They have nothing to do with like anything else, but they're all Avatar: The Last Airbender. But that also has a very special place in my heart because, Avatar: The Last Airbender was uh, very dear to me, and I love hearing the quotes from it. I can never get tired of them. Like you would think with the amount of times that someone would put the host for maybe it's friendly, it's a giant mushroom quote, the cactus juice one, like that, like you would think that I would be tired of it, but I'm not. Or the follow alert with the deadly tea, or is it I can't even remember what the quote is anymore because I've heard it so many times I almost like don't even think about it. Um, delicious tea or deadly poison, that's what it was. Um, you would think that I would hear that over and over again and be tired of it, but I absolutely love it. Like hearing Uncle Iroh's voice is just soothing to me, and hearing, Sokka being drunk off of cactus juice is just very soothing to me. I love it.
That's awesome. I've always thought alerts were a good place where if you don't want to do something that's necessarily cohesive with the channel, it's a good way to show your other interests. So, and
Yeah.
you've done that with that. That's cool. I've actually never seen any Avatar, uh, any
It is
episodes.
definitely a good I honestly highly recommend watching it, and it's not just because it's my favorite TV show. It has lots in there. It's very, very informative and very cool to see things be put in that. It's also like every single bending has different fighting styles and their actual styles that they have like done the research and actually watched somebody do those movements for that fighting style, and then they moved it into bending and made it slightly different for the bending itself. So it's just really, it's something that I very highly recommend because there's lots of like things in there that are very hard topics, but are very good topics to talk about. So like even if you were to watch it and then maybe in the future even have your kids watch it, very good idea. I had William watch the entirety of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and he was just in awe from it. And I had a very big conversation with him about Avatar: The Last Airbender, and then I said, "Okay, now you're gonna switch your mind and forget everything about Avatar. Not all of it, but half of it. And now you're gonna watch Korra." And he watched the entirety of Korra. And that was on him. I told him, "You don't have to watch it all right now this second, but you can watch it as you go." And he just kept putting the DVDs in to the PS4, and he was doing it all himself. And it's a good idea to watch it. It's very good.
So then I'm interested to ask this since I've never seen the movie either, the infamous movie that apparently nobody likes. What did you think of that then?
I've told people this very many times. I could probably write an entire novel about why I absolutely hate that movie. And that movie is that movie is one of those things that um, it's kind of like your favorite book is being turned into a movie, and then they missed literally every point in the book. Um, it's kind of like the same reason why I'm not a big fan of the fourth Harry Potter movie, is because it was one of my favorite books, and they skipped a lot of things in the movie. But they took out a lot of things from, because it's supposed to be like the first season of Avatar is supposed to be that book, and they took a lot out of there, including like the people's personalities, all of the characters' personalities, they're out the window. They changed the entire name of from Aang, they changed it to Ong because the director, M. Night Shyamalan,
Hmm.
or as the Avatar fandom calls him M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong. Um,
I hadn't heard that.
he, I, and my mom had laughed so hard. She's like, I never heard that before. I love his movies. I was like, but you don't like that movie? She goes, nope, I do not like that movie. Um, but he wanted it to be for the Japanese pronunciation of Aang would be Ong. But the thing is that the movie was created from it's an American anime, so it was not Japanese to begin with. So there was a lot of factors that he put in things in there that weren't supposed to be in there, and he changed like how firebending happens, and he changed how waterbending happens. It was not fun, and I went in there with very low expectations, and I guess it wasn't low enough because
You still got like disappointed.
I was so disappointed. My best friend and I came out of that movie theater and we were like, I am sad. It was not a good thing.
So you brought up Goblet of Fire. I'll just make a note. My wife is always turning to me saying how angry she gets when Dumbledore yells at Harry, "Did you put your name
Yeah.
in the Goblet of Fire?" And she's like, "Calmly." And like, because it
It's
says it in the book, or I think it says calmly. And she just, every time she hears that, she gets frustrated.
Yeah, because it's a very frustrating thing because like you see that and you get like scared for Harry and you're like, why is he yelling at him? Because like Dumbledore has always been like the calm person and being like there for you, and in that moment he was not there for him.
No. All right. Was there anything else about your channel design, name, anything else you wanted to discuss?
I think that's kind of everything.
All right. Then we will move on to the next section, which is. Why is that still there? Oh. Gaming news. So, I usually go from roughly about the date that the last podcast was until now. We're going to kind of bullet point this. If anybody wants any further discussion on it, let us know. Same with you, Glam. Stop me if anything is either of interest or you think could use discussing. So, Bill and Ted 3, for those who are fans of this series, August 28th for theaters and
I'm
video
very
on
excited for
demand.
that one.
I've never seen the second one.
Oh, so good. That's
Uh,
something I grew up on as well.
Oh, I didn't even grow up on the first one. I didn't see the first one until probably a decade ago or so.
I watched it when I was like little, and then like it was always I think I can't remember which one it was, but one of them was my favorite movie at the time, and then my
Bogus
mom
Journey,
always
that's the name. Bogus Journey.
yeah, there we go. Yeah, we would watch them kind of regularly. My parents are also very big movie buffs. They have lots of movies. Um, And so that was one of those movies that I had watched. And when I heard about rumors of it, like, 5 years ago,
Right.
I was like, ooh, that's exciting. And then they were actually coming out with it, and I was very excited. I saw the trailer, and I'm excited for that one. And it comes out on my sister's birthday, too. So
Nice. So are you going to video on demand it?
possibly. I was thinking about it.
All right. So there's been a little bit of, I wouldn't say controversy necessarily, but a lot of back talk from people about Spider-Man being. So there's Marvel's Avengers that's coming out soon. Beta is available this weekend on PlayStation. Spider-Man will be exclusive on the PlayStation version, coming sometime next year. So it's not at launch. And so there's a lot of people mad at Sony for keeping Spider-Man away, even though they own the character. They don't own the movie rights. They own like the rights to the character themselves. So a lot of people are angry about that. Which actually I left off the list. So Mulan, I saw you tweet about this.
Yeah.
So Mulan, for those who don't know, since it can't really come out in theaters here, I think it'll be international in theaters. But for us, I think it's September. It's early September. We're getting it on Disney Plus, but at a cost, like $30 to be able to see it. So what were you saying about that?
Okay, so before I go on this, I have learned my ways. Rosie has put me in my place, and she let me know how this goes. Originally, I was like, why are people being so... Here, let me get it up just so that I know what
I
I
remember
said
seeing
for
the
sure.
tweets.
Yeah, and I said, So I was saying like paying $30 for this movie on a streaming platform we already pay for should be no issue because if I worked on that movie, I would want to be paid and see my work be enjoyed by others. Also, going to see this in theaters is like $10 to $15 a ticket, not including snacks. So like I was like saying like I don't see like the issue. Like I looked at it at a different viewpoint. I was looking at it as like if I was working on the movie, I would want to get paid and that I what was the other thing that
That we'd be paying the same, if not more, if we went to
right, we
theaters
would
to
be
watch it.
yeah, and so like I was just looking at it like people are being cheapskates about it. Like that's what I thought of it. But then Rosie comes in and tells me all this like Scoot also told me something about the lead actress saying something. But I looked at it and was looking at it in a different situation. I'm trying to find this. This is why Twitter is very strange for me because it does weird things to
Shiny
me.
Wave says both of your arguments make sense to me, but that's probably my Libra moon too. No, I agree with you, Shiny Wave. You can have differing opinions, and they don't have to necessarily be
Yeah.
wrong.
Right. And like I said, I was looking at it at a different perspective while Rosie was again put me in my place and told me she's like they're paying more money to watch I told them I was like people are just being upset because they're paying more money even though they were already going to pay that money, but she reminded me that Disney is a multimillionaire company and those people are going to be getting paid whether they aren't or not, and reminded me that the money that we'd be paying for a ticket isn't for those people watching the movie or not for those people that are working on the movie, but for the people that were working in the theater and for the food and stuff like that.
Right.
So again, I was trying to figure out I put in what I thought and then realized what it was.
Yeah.
Right, and what Annie Ruthie's saying, $30 just seems like a lot on top of a monthly subscription. I just looked at it like it's just $30 that I would be spending anyway to go see the movie because I have me, my husband, and William to go see the movie if we were to go see the movie.
Right. And so at that point, you're like you said, be spending the same or if not more at the
Right.
theater. So again, there it's valid either way. Like you said, depends on how you look at it. Because
Right.
which angle you look at it, it makes sense.
Hmm.
So the ones who really want to see it, they'll see it. The ones who don't
Hmm.
care, they'll wait until it's free. Or if you're my
Hmm.
little brother, he hates this movie without even when he found out that they changed so many things, he was like, "Nope, it's not the same. Why did they do this? I'm never even going to think about watching it." So I was like, "Okay,
Right. But Mulan is also this movie is supposed to be like a whole nother thing where it's not like the cartoon was a fun way to show it and have music and everything like that, but the live action is to show like this is how it is and this is actually how it kind of happened but not like for
right,
sure how it happened. It's more they're trying to get more closer to what the actual story was.
right." So there's all that going on. People fighting on both sides. You'll either watch the movie or you won't. Rocksteady announced the Suicide Squad game. So after I think they said 5 years since Batman Arkham or the third Batman game, nobody knew what they were working on, but we finally now know it's Suicide Squad. Uh,
I'm actually kind of surprised they would work on a game for Suicide Squad when the movie. I mean, like the comics obviously were great, but from the movie perspective, movie didn't do so hot from what I was told. I thought it was a great movie, but maybe it was because I like the soundtrack and I'm weird like that. But
well, then you've also got the fact that they are coming out with the basically the remake, but with the same people, but different with the James Gunn movie, Suicide
right,
Squad. So
right,
that's going to be weird altogether by itself. I'm
yeah,
not sure how well it did, but the game's not going to be based off the movie, so
right.
uh,
So I just feel like there's a lot of people that would look at it like that.
yeah. Especially now that it'll probably be closer to the new release of the release of the new movie.
Right.
But all right, PS Plus this month: Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 campaign, and more importantly, Fall Guys. So I don't know if you got a chance to play it or if you've seen people play it yet.
Seen lots of people play it. It looks like such a fun game. I almost said a fall game. Um, it looks like a fun game, and I was thinking about possibly purchasing it when I get my paycheck.
Do
I just
you,
haven't decided yet.
yeah, I'm glad it was free on PlayStation Plus because
Hmm.
that got me. I wouldn't have paid for it otherwise, I don't think. But
Hmm.
having played it, I am very happy to have access to it. It's really fun. So if you do
Nice.
get a chance to play it, that's a good community night game, I think.
For
Uh,
sure, for sure.
so uh, and that achievement for winning 5 games in a row is stupid. I'll say it. All right, Cuphead is now on PS4. That was actually kind of a surprise for me. It was Xbox exclusive. I don't remember if Xbox bought the studio or not. I thought they had, but either way, it eventually came to Switch, and now it's on PlayStation. So that's pretty cool. If you haven't had a chance to play it, I recommend doing so. I did a playthrough of it on Switch. Died 300. I did a death counter, so it's 308 times
Oh my
to finish the
gosh.
game, and so I'm going to try to do it on PlayStation and not die 308 times. Have you played Cuphead at all?
I have not, but it was one of the games that I had as one of the things I was thinking about playing, but it also seems like a game that I would probably end up raging at and like probably end up quitting at some point.
It is for
And
sure a rage game.
yeah, I would probably end up dying probably like 1,000 times. I'm not gonna lie.
It is very precise, but it's a gorgeous game. The hand drawn and everything.
Yeah,
I will say I did get the PlayStation code for free through a promotional company, so I had to put that out there. So that was nice.
nice.
Uh, I said we weren't going to talk about that. We talked about this earlier. Pikmin 3 is going to be coming out on October 30th. I've never
Hmm.
played a Pikmin game for more than like 20 minutes, so maybe I'll get
Hmm.
this one.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe I'll actually play this one.
It's on a system where I can just sit in bed and try it, so it's
Hmm.
nice. Animal
Right.
Crossing update, which you are, I'm sure, very familiar with.
Yes.
Added fireworks on Sundays for I think it's 4 more weekends, right?
For
Five
every
every
Sunday in
Sunday.
August.
Right. So I think it should be 4 more, including tomorrow.
Yeah. Hmm.
And then the Dream Address. So I haven't
Hmm.
played around with it yet, but do you have a Dream Address for your island?
I do not because my island is nowhere near to. I was actually talking about this last night. My no, my island is nowhere near to a spot where I look at and be like, okay, I am ready for this. Like, for people to look at my island. It's too much. It's not even like to me. It's like maybe 35% done. Like, I'm not anywhere near like if I was like maybe 75% done, I'd think about it, but I'm not anywhere near done with my island to the point where I want people to look at it on like their
Except
own
every
like
day on
that.
stream.
Right. But on stream I'm working on it all
Yeah,
the
yeah.
time. So like it's like slightly different if I was to like just put it out in the world and everyone could see it, but
Banana says my island is garbage. It's so empty though. Banana, you have not seen my island. So if yours, I'm sure is epic compared to mine. So don't. No, every island is okay, unless you're Isabel, and then trees are too much. Uh,
or there's not enough fences.
yeah. All right. Halo Infinite. So for anybody who's a fan of Xbox, multiplayer is going to be free for everybody. So that's pretty cool. You don't have to buy the game or have the pass to play it with your friends. And then the Xbox Showcase happened. I think it was 2 weeks ago. I'm just going to do some interesting games and I don't know if you know anything about any of these except Fable. There was Tell Me Why. It's by Don't Nod, the people who did Life is Strange. So it looks very stylized like that. So it's got my signals up to look out for that one. The Medium, which is a game where you're a character and apparently it renders 2 worlds at the same time, a regular world and kind of like a demon world. So the game is rendering both, so I think it flips. I don't know if you choose when to flip or if it flips on its own, but it looks pretty interesting. And then the big reveal of Fable at the end. Poor fairy with the frog.
Yeah. I know.
What was your reaction when you saw the frog eat the fairy?
I was like, oh, okay, it's gonna be like that.
But that is very Fable-esque in my opinion.
It is. That's why I was like, that's true though. That is very Fable. I didn't message my mom right after I saw it, and I forgot about it. And then that night, my mom sent me the trailer. I was like, oh, dang it! I knew there was something I was supposed to message you about.
And was she like, what?
She was so excited to see that there was going to be another Fable game.
Was there anything recently in the news that I hadn't brought up here that you wanted to talk about or bring up?
Not that I know of.
All right. Well, in that case, we're gonna. Where is that? We're gonna switch over to the wrap up. Now's the time. If anybody has any questions or comments or anything, feel free to put it in the chat. We'll try to answer it and discuss. Let's see. We got Banana Here's Life is Strange and goes what? Yeah, the Don't Nod is doing another game again in that style where it looks like you've got twin brother and sisters, and their mother tried to murder the daughter at one point, but something was off about that whole situation, and they can start seeing like fragments of the past. I mean, it looks interesting. It looks like a Don't Not game, so I'm interested. Again, it's called Tell Me Why. So that's pretty cool. People saying we love you, Glam.
Love you too.
Glam is amazing. But also, last chance, put exclamation point raffle in the chat if you want a sub to Glamour's channel. It's a thank you that I do for having me join me, where one of you will get a gift sub. If you already have a gift sub, I'll do it when the thing ends, so don't worry if you've already got one. Feel free to put that in there. So I'll take this time to say thank you, Glamour, for spending the time with me, letting us get to know you a little bit better, bringing your community over. They're all wonderful, just like you.
Aw, no you.
No. But yeah, I get thanked for like the opportunity to be on here, but it's really me who thanks you guys for coming on here and taking the time. So thank you very much.
Yeah, it was lots of fun. It was lots of fun to talk about things that like I've never really talked about on stream before or told people about like my character and stuff like that. So it was really nice to talk about that and also to talk about like my growing up situation with games.
And it will be immortalized on YouTube.
Yep, forever. And I will show my parents and be like, watch this YouTube video and tell me I'm wrong.
All right, so with that, everybody stick around because we'll be right back, but I'm going to switch it over for YouTube editing purposes, and we'll get the raffle done, and Glamour, we'll get to pick who we get to raid. So thank you again, Glamour, one more time. I'm trying to remember now. Next month we have... I'm forgetting, this is bad of me to forget the guess. We have Roszipou coming up. But I want to say that's October. I'm forgetting who September is, and that's really bad of me. November is Jesus on a stick. So the end thing will have who's coming up, so we'll figure out there. Otherwise, again, thank you, Glam. Thank you, everybody, for coming back, and we'll see you in a minute.